Hi everybody. So I haven't recorded a new lesson in a really long time. I decided to start my YouTube channel up again, so I'm going to be uploading more videos. I'm also starting a Patreon account. I'm going to put a link in the description, so you can spend monthly $10, and I'm going to be doing group lessons there. So I'm going to be doing basically live streams where you can ask questions, or lessons, kind of group lessons where I announce beforehand and do a lesson on a specific thing. It's going to be about different types of Middle Eastern music, Balkan music, but also just general guitar stuff, especially music theory. In the time since I've last uploaded a lesson, I've also recorded an album. That's my original music, so I'm also going to put a link to that in the description. And also, I have an ebook available on Amazon, which has tabs about a lot of the kind of stuff that I do in lessons, and that's available for free download if you sign up for Patreon, or if not, I'll put the link. You can also get it on Amazon. Anyway, so the lesson I'm going to do today is going to be about doing Middle Eastern style ornaments. Most of the previous lessons I've done have been about scales, so it's just been about what are the notes that you're playing, right? This one is more about how to kind of ornament these notes in the right way, to get the kind of specific sound of Middle Eastern music. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of position the guitar like this so you can see my left hand really up close. That's where kind of most of the stuff I'm going to show today is happening. So what I'm going to do is basically start with something really simple. In this case, the Phrygian scale, okay, from E. And you might know this from my other videos. This would be called Kurd, or Kurdi in Turkish, Makam Kurd in Arabic. It's basically the same scale as what would be called Phrygian in Western music, which is this. Like that, right? So basically what I'm going to show you is how can you fill in those spaces, okay? So I'm going to start with something really simple. Let's try to go up the scale, not just playing the notes, but going like this. Right, so. Like that. Okay. So notice one thing here is that when I'm adding the ornaments, I tend to try to not use open strings as much, right? So for example, I went here rather than going, right? I mean, in that case, it doesn't really matter, but basically you can do ornaments much more consistently if you tend to stay on the same string a lot, right? And also, for example, when I'm ornamenting the D here, right? I could do that ornament like this, right? Instead, I'm going, right? Again, I'm doing that basically to kind of keep the consistency, okay? So this is another example, right? Now, if I was just playing those two notes, if I was going, up to the third note there, I would not need to use this position at all, right? I wouldn't need to slide here with the index finger, right? I would go, right? But when I'm adding ornaments in here, I go, right? I change positions, okay? And the point of doing that is you can get a stronger ornament this way, right? And it kind of sounds inconsistent to go to kind of try to do that ornament, right? Now that's also totally fine. You can go, right? Or that kind of thing, right? Where I'm actually, look at my right hand, I'm going, right? But basically you should be able, be able to do both of those, and generally to kind of maintain a consistent line, it's good to organize your fingers in a way that if you're going like this, if you're doing this hammer-on ornament, you're doing it every time, right? So for this exercise, just try to do it that way. Now, I know that in the video, in just now, I showed you how to do it this way, right? Basically with a lot of sliding so that you're always using kind of this finger as your base and this to make the ornament. So I would recommend practicing it both that way and this way to kind of strengthen the pinky. So, I'll just show it for like the first couple notes of the scale. Like that. Like this, right? So you can do these scales both ways. Another thing that you can try to practice is to kind of do the whole thing on one string. So I'll show this on the high string, just on the high E string here. So like that. So now let me show some kind of more complicated things that you can do with this, right? The other one I showed was basically this, right? The kind of absolute most simple ornament you can do. One thing we can just start with is to kind of double that or make it more frequent. So rather than this, we can go right like this. You can do that with one pluck, what I'm doing here, or with two. Right, either one of them is fine. Right, so then you get this. Sorry. Now, again, kind of depending on how strong your fingers are, you can do this always using this finger as your base and just doing the ornament with the middle finger, right? That basically is always stronger, but it's also good to strengthen the other fingers because sometimes that comes in handy. So, you can do this, or you can go like that, right? Again, we can kind of try to do this whole thing on just one string. So, starting from here. Right. Now, you might have noticed I'm kind of doing a mute in some places. So what I was doing there is, right, rather than making that last note long, like that, right? So again, that's just kind of something to be aware of. It's a technique that I'm using here. So again, you can practice it both ways, like that, or like this, right? For muting, I use both the right hand, so just going like that, and the ornamenting finger for the left hand, you can actually use that to mute a note, or just the finger that's pressing down too, sometimes like that. So let me just show one more ornament you can work on. This one's might be a little bit harder technically. So you can also do ornaments that involve not just two notes, but maybe, but in this case, three notes. It can also be more than that, right? But the one I'm going to do here goes like this. So, right there again, I'm doing a mute at the end, so I'm going. That last note is short. It doesn't have to be. You can go. So, right. So now try to extend this to the entire scale. So. Like that, right? Now you'll notice that in a lot of cases, this one, it requires doing big stretches, and sometimes you kind of have to go between notes, between strings. Or if you don't go between strings, you have to stretch a lot on the same string. So, right, in this case, for example, I'm going, right? Really the only way to do that with all on one string would be like this. Like this. So this is, this might be a big stretch for some people. So like that. Either one of those options is fine. So, right, this one might require some pinky work.